Good morning or good day, and welcome to our Connecting Material podcast for the Narrative Lectionary Year 4, 2021 to 2022. And we have another installment here, installment 6, to talk about the text between each Sunday. And so we will begin with that right on and right away as we look at the past stories here. I am Pastor Ken. I am Our Saviors and Central Lutheran Churches of Fairfax Lutheran Parish and of Fairfax United Methodist Church. And last Sunday we heard the story of the call of young Samuel in 1 Samuel 3, 1 through 21. Today we're going to move forward into this Samuel story here, Samuel's role as it was among the people of Israel. We know he was a high priest, a prophet, and a judge for and over Israel, as he was a military leader. But there's also more to his story than meets the eye. So let's get going and see what happens with this first prophet of Israel through whom God speaks. Samuel was a religious hero in the history of Israel, represented in the Old Testament in every role of leadership open to the Jewish man of his day. He was a seer, a priest, a judge, a prophet, and a military leader. He covered all bases. He has great distinction with his role in the establishment of the monarchy of Israel. Well, of course, the monarchy came about as a result of the people of Israel wanting a king like the other nations. And Samuel brought the request to God, to which God responded, "Listen to the voice of the people in regard to all that they say to you. For they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me from being king over them. Like all the deeds which they have done since the day I brought them up from Egypt, even to this day, in that they have forsaken me and served other gods. So they are doing to you also. Now then listen to their voice. However, you shall solemnly warn them and tell them of the procedure of the king who will reign over them." So Samuel did just that. Samuel said, "This will be the procedure of the king who will reign over you. He will take your sons and place them for himself in his chariots and among his horsemen, and they will run before his chariots. He will appoint for himself commanders of thousands and of fifties, and some to do his plowing and to reap his harvest and to make his weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will also take your daughters for perfumers and cooks and bakers, and he will take the best of your fields and your vineyards and your olive groves and give them to his servants. He will take a tenth of your seed and of your vineyard and give it to his officers and to his servants. He will also take your male servants and your female servants and your best young men and your donkeys and use them for his work. He will take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his servants. Then you will cry out in that day because of your king, whom you have chosen for yourselves, but the Lord will not answer in that day." No matter what, they wanted a king, and a king is just what they got. But how to choose one was the question. And God had the answer. They will get a king of God's choosing. God told Samuel to have the tribes present themselves by clans. And one by one the clans will be eliminated. And then the one clan that will stand forward will come one by one, man by man. And finally it came to the tribe of Benjamin, and the choice was whittled down to one man, Saul. But in the choosing, Saul was not present. So they inquired the Lord, "Where is Saul?" God informed them, "He's hiding among the baggage, among the luggage." And they went and found him. I find that unique, hanging among the baggage. He was there among the baggage of the people, hiding himself. Well, they brought him forward, and when he stood among the people, he was head and shoulders above any of the people, literally. Saul said, "Do you see who the Lord has chosen? Surely there's no one like him among all the people. So all the people shouted and said, Long live the king. And the monarchy was born. Well, as we move forward toward next Sunday, it's Samuel's farewell, and Samuel warns the people. Fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things God has done for you. But if you persist in doing evil, both you and your king will be swept away. That was his promise. Saul did well for a while too. He was a good leader. He was God's man. But as every good leader, his faith and his devotion to God eroded. He began to do what was not lawful for him to do. He picked and chose what he would do as far as what God commands. Now, the corker for his fall from grace was his, making a sacrifice which was only for the priest to do. But he was an impatient man and he sacrificed anyway. And then add to that he violated the rules of war set up by God and did not totally destroy everything in his path. As a result, Saul is rejected as king by God. And now a new king had to be found. Well, I'm going to drop you there. And that's our story for now. We'll save the new king's story for next worship time, October 24th, at Central Lutheran, Saturday at 5 p.m., Our Savior's Sunday at 9 a.m., and at Fairfax United Methodist on Sunday again at 10:30 a.m. So join us at any of them. You can also join us online on Facebook Live at Our Savior's and Central Lutheran Churches, or on Fairfax United Methodist Church pages at their times of worship. But worship is so much better in the company of other saints like you. So join us, because like a community, the church needs you. God's blessings, and see you again next Wednesday.